We talk crazy suburban Indian couples, the aftermath of that story where the guy lost his job after getting doxxed, basically. We talk the Nepal pageant, Miss Universe pageant, has a plus-size woman, wink, who gets the top prize. We talk some wrestling as well. It's a fun one. Come on down. Mango Bay.
Mango Bay, Mango Bay.
Mango Bay.
Mango Bay. Mango Bay. Mango Bay. Mango Bay. Your Mango Bay.
For the exclusive content, don't forget to join our Patreon at patreon.com/MangoBay. Mango.
Bay.
One more.
Welcome to Mango Bay.
Hello, one-stop shop for South Asian recklessness. Yerd?
Bing bong boom.
Bing bong, boom. We are two best boys who are comics in New York. Bring the South Asian tamasha, the jungly, the wilderness, the horny. A little bit of horny sometimes.
It wouldn't be South Asian if it wasn't horny.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We'll just be 50, 60, 70, like, and then I started running down the street, and I was full chub, my guy.
I was wheeled right after.
Oh, man, I died because all the blood left my brain. So, patreon.com/MangoBay. If you're like us and you're a fucking genius, then you know that the only way to make your life better, more fulfilling, is get on the Patreon. We have early access. We have Discord server for discourse.
Yeah.
We
got bonus content from every episode. You get the full episodes, basically.
Only on Patreon is this.
And most importantly, you get our archived episodes.
That's so much fucking value. It's insane.
Once we get all these followers on Patreon, we can just quit our jobs and we can spend all day.
We can devote all day to giving you guys even more content.
Yeah.
That's
all
true.
right. And y'all are coming in and we see it. I mean, we're at more than we've ever had in our lives.
Yeah.
Come on down, dude. You guys know what the deal is.
Yeah.
It's been years and no one else.
This is the content that your grandkids are actually going to be into, is what I've realized. You know when I realized that? Because actually I went off on this a little bit on Instagram last night. Is I saw the shittiest clip. It was just like some shitty brown kid with like a fade, and he's talking to his mom. He's like, "Mom, everything's about making you happy.
Yeah.
Everything but..." I was like, this kid's such a whiny little bitch. And I hate this level of discourse, which still dominates South Asian content.
Well, again, it's like
our moms are oppressing us.
Dude, there's no poor South Asians in the media space.
Yeah.
No one grew up poor. They're all, suburbia.
Yeah.
And so they have suburbia vibes, Mom, I'm gluten-free.
Everything's about making you happy. Everything's about your expectation. It's like, shut the fuck up.
They're one step away from being like, listen, Karishma.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Fuck off, Brenda. That is
fuck
the
off,
energy.
boss
That was
and
it.
tea.
He's talking to his mom. I was waiting for his mom to slap him. Give him the fucking thuppar.
And of course they're not. They're not anymore.
And that is why Mango Bay, at the best, will just make light of those kinds of topics and joke about them. But I'm sorry, we are light years ahead of that level of discourse.
$8 a month, we'll slap your kids.
Yeah, $7 a month.
No, I'll we'll slap
Oh,
your kids.
yes.
Like literally.
$8, yeah.
I'll slap your kid.
Yeah, I just think that whole discourse of like our parents, this is why Indians succeed, guys. You got to keep the formula going.
You see Zarna with her family, and I, again, love to Zarna, but she's like going that direction of like open dialogue is the key. Is
she? I always like Zarna because Zarna is like,
no,
don't be an idiot.
She had this one video of like this guy coming out for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you want to say to us? It's a big thing. I'm like, just say you're gay, dude. It's fine. But the idea is like, bring the tuppar back into the discourse.
You have to bring it back in, right?
Bring the tuppar.
So I thought it was so pathetic though, because I'm like, we're still doing this.
Right.
We're still doing this thing of like our parents' expectations. It's like, dude, manage them.
Right.
You're a fucking grown up now. All of our parents have expectations. You either live up to them or you don't. But this whole thing of constantly bemoaning and constantly shitting on your parents, it's like you're done. It is the sign of an unhealthy society when everybody decides that their parents are the enemy, as opposed to just accepting that they're flawed human beings and still being able to love them regardless. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, then I guess like young kids too, like we have this, again, it's the same, it's the Brampton brain too of like, what's my struggle? What's my issue?
Right.
Some people have such good lives. It's got to be my mom is a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. You're right about that.
And listen, my mom's a bitch, right? Coming from a guy with a bitch mom.
Yeah, you're never going to have a single healthy relationship in your life if you hate your parents and actively
100%.
resent them. Short of like actual abuse, which obviously should never be tolerated.
And now you got these deli girls that I see on my algo who are parroting this white girl concept of like, if you love your mom, you're an idiot. So it's just all this weird like 90s white, early aughts white culture is now like leaking in to the mainframe. And it's just
Mom, shut up, Mom.
Hey.
I'm not a girl,
Hey,
but I'm not yet a woman. That's like the discourse, right? It's like early 2000s white girl having conflict with their mom discourse.
This is as told by ginger browns.
You know?
It's teen Nick, and get out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just stop it with that.
We have a chance right now as brown people to really change the discourse around us.
We need to keep the discipline. I am only a comedian, because honestly, I could not succeed at anything else.
That's untrue.
You know? This is just who I am, though. You know? It's not like I was just like if I could have been like an accountant or an engineer or any of that kind of more straight path stuff, I would have done it. But I'm not. I'm literally just, that's not the shape of me as a person, you know? And thus I was not able to do that.
You could work at an adult Asian video store.
That I could do.
So don't say you can't do anything else.
But I mean, you know what I mean.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean. I mean, I basically run my own, if you know what I mean. I'm already that.
Yo. Holler at your boy. You know?
But this whole thing of like, my parents pressured me to go into a high income yielding profession. It's like, dude, you're so much better off for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What, did you want to be a fucking contemporary dancer? No. You were going to suck at that.
The problem is sometimes they put them in there too.
Right.
But it's like, the Bharatanatyam shit is like, wasn't for you to dance. It's for you to like Hinduism and understand your culture and religiousness as well.
It's more of a culture thing.
It wasn't just like, you showed me dance. Now I love it, Mom. So fuck off. Everyone's Julia Stiles.
Right.
You know, like they're just like, I'm going to marry a black man and fuck off. And it's like the antagonism, again, at some point, we're just going to be like crotchety old men, like, love your parents. We had to go through that as well. Like,
yes, we do when you're teens, right? But I'm seeing a guy who's clearly in his 30s. Right? Who's just like talking about his mom still. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Why did you do my laundry for 30 years?
Like, shut the fuck up. If you're a grown up, you have to start integrating all of these things now, processing them, and then coming around to being an integrated human being. Anyway, my main point is that this is not what Mango Bay does, okay?
I had a girl one time, I remember saying this whole thing, like, I was in a crack house, and I just like, I shit in the bag, and it was rough, there was no electricity, and then she's like, are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, your journey? And she's right. It's like, okay, it's rough. People have cleft lip. Shut up. You know? I get it. We lionize our own. Like, do I even exist if I don't have problems or something?
Right. That's exactly right.
Because if I identify with the problems, then I exist.
Yeah, the life's meaning doesn't come from dwelling on the shittiness in life. The meaning comes from overcoming it. That's where you understand things, start to learn about life.
Your existence, the weight of your existence isn't the fact that you have problems.
Right.
That's not, the concept of you shouting your problems out, meaning I exist, is a defeating purpose. It's like, you exist because you exist.
I hate mom and dad is not cool once you're in your 30s. It's just not.
Yeah. Now, maybe your dad is a piece of shit, right? It's a different thing. Maybe you're like, I'm not saying like abusive dad and just like.
It just can't keep being your personality though.
Yeah.
Right? Until you're dead. I mean, you don't know how many people I've dated like this.
Yeah.
Who are just like, I fucking hate my mom. I fucking hate my parents. I'm like, how old are you?
Back to Asians.
Like, bitch, you got kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, you got to get over this.
And so many times, bro. That happened with one of my ex-exes. Like for a whole 6 months, I just hear like, my parents are gaslighters.
I know.
And they attack me and I feel trauma every time I see them in my eyes. Then I go to Eid to their house.
Yeah.
And these are the nicest people on earth.
Of course.
Coolest vibe.
Of course.
I'm waiting for the trauma. I'm waiting. I'm like going in like, here comes ye, abandon all hope, you enter here.
Listen, all parent-child relationships are fraught. There's no getting around it.
And I'm like waiting for this. And they're like, you want some lemonade? And I'm like, What do you mean?
But short of like molesting you or beating you, like severely, severely, right? We all get it upside the head once in a while.
Hey.
Like your parents are not that bad. They're just normal human beings who are flawed, just as you are, right?
I wish I could send a bill to my wife's dad for all the work I've done to reverse all the horrible things he's done to her.
I heard that it was like a very happening kind of cool guy vibes, you know.
Super good-looking people like us shouldn't get married.
You know what I'm saying, dude? I mean, he kept the hair, he had the slick back.
He did.
The stepdad slick back.
I was like, this guy looks like a capo.
You know, you come in. I probably was especially vibing with this guy. I remember at the wedding, he comes in and then like the dad like lights up. He's like, "You're a fuckboy too." In your later
Joe's
years.
mom thought I was hot.
Yes,
by the way,
I'll never
she
forget.
did.
How do we figure that one out?
She was openly said
No,
that.
no.
I think
She said
too.
it. She said it. That's maybe why I had to go fucking a boat. I was like, well, Pranav's gonna get I'm gonna be hot in this boat too.
I think she said later on too. She was like, "Who is that tall guy with the mustache?" Like, what the fuck?
Who was he?
Because Joe's mom is also beautiful.
She was very,
Very gorgeous.
beautiful.
I've only heard my mom talk one time about another guy like that, and that's one time we were watching professional wrestling as a kid, and Shawn Michaels came out,
Shawn
and she was like,
Michaels!
who's that guy?"
Yes. And then he's like, "Suck it," and she's like, "Don't mind if I do." Don't mind if I do. I was a Shawn Michaels fanatic, dude. I loved how he didn't suck it like this. He sucked it like this. It was like that's actually what a pussy looks like, dude.
Now he's Christian.
Suck it.
Now he's
By the
sucking
bonds
it
of marriage.
for the Lord.
Yeah. Suck it for the Lord. We got a jungly.
What do you got for us?
This is on the way to by the way, jungly story, some weird story that happened the week that we relate on the pod to start it off. I don't usually take Greyhound.
Oh, that's the home. That's right there.
Ugh,
I don't
It's a
worst.
one-way ticket to Jungly Town.
Here's the beginning of the story. You know, I don't usually take Greyhound. Period. But I don't know. It was $5 or something. It was like $7 to go to Philly for these gigs. And I get on the bus. I was mad late. I got right there at the last exact second. No seats left except one seat.
Yeah.
And I get there. I look to the right. It's this fully school shooter looking white guy.
Oh shit.
Fully. He had like battalion wear on. Like he had camo on. He was skinny with camo.
This poor kid probably just got finished a tour of duty somewhere. So I was like, look at this school shooter.
Wearing 5 dog tags like a weirdo.
You have like one arm. Come on, man.
Smelled like shit. So I'm like, okay, kind of intense. He's kind of jittery. And then I sit down, and I'm like, I said here. He's like, oh. I sit down, and I fall asleep on this bus, and I wake up, and this man is staring at me.
Oh shit.
Heavy, not just like kind of like he's just like. And I don't even fucking know what's going on.
Are you on America's Got Talent?
I wish. I
I've
hated
seen you
that
on
show.
Instagram. Mango Bay? Mango Bay?
He like loves Heidi Klum though, so he's like shoots me.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, he starts just staring. He's like, and I wake up. I'm like, it was the weirdest. I got reminded of that one story of the guy who got cannibalized on the Greyhound. You know, he fell asleep and the Chinese guy ate him. Remember that story? Remember we talked about the Mango Bay?
Vaguely, actually.
Right? Where the guy fell asleep and the Chinese guy started eating him. So I was like, fuck, you know, this guy's gonna. So what happens is I look around, there's another seat that's available. So I should have done this, but I kind of was like, oh, there's a whole seat there. I'm just gonna go to that seat, right? And then I go to that seat, I go away, and I sit down there, and then there's a stop, and so people get out, and then I fall asleep again, and then I wake up, and the white guy is behind me on a different seat.
Ooh.
And he's still. I just
He wanted a different angle on you.
Maybe he was just like, yeah, now I want to see him from this, and then I wake up, he's under me or something. He's like, ah. Bro, I just don't like. The Greyhound already keeps you on like a fucking
I know.
heightened state.
Yeah.
Then you got this like anorexic Azov battalion looking, Ukrainian.
Well, he
school
probably
shooter.
moved because there's another seat opened up, and we all want to sit alone.
Maybe, dude. The stare down was just crazy. I thought that's really what the story was. So I woke up and he was staring at me.
Probably there was something racial there where he's like,
Yeah.
"Why is this fucking curry monkey?"
I think there's a better chance he just wanted to fuck you than kill you.
Possible.
I think it was a fuck thing.
Could have been both, though.
Could have been a cannibalistic fuck thing.
Yeah.
Could have been whatever it was. The stupid thing with me was that I fell asleep again after I saw that. I was like, well, if my kidney is his, then that's just what's going on. And I fell asleep again. I guess something about buses make me fall asleep. It's like
That's nice.
I know it's a weird thing.
Driving, I can fall asleep in a car, but I can't fall asleep on a plane. That's where I have a
I can
real
do
tough
it, yeah.
time sleeping.
I can do it, dude.
Yeah, I could see that. You're just better.
I don't know, dude. I think I just want to. I guess my body's more tired more often. You know
I
what I'm
can
saying?
sleep on planes, but it's like stop and start. Where I can
yeah,
sleep
yeah.
for like 5 minutes at a time on a plane. I become a fucking narcoleptic during takeoff, though. As soon as takeoff happens, I just go immediately fall asleep. I think it's like the pressure change or something.
What? Is that sexually that happens?
That would be
Right
amazing.
before I come, I pass out dude. Every time.
As soon as I'm getting hard.
Right before lift off, I just what? Who?
Well, when I get an erection, I pass out because my dick's so big. Psych, I wish. I always wonder that about guys who have huge schlongs.
Right?
Like, do you get lightheaded? Do you pass out when you get an erection? Joe, does that happen to you?
What's that? Would you ask?
Big
you
dick talk.
probably get a pretty big schlong.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
get lightheaded when you get fully erect?
No.
Okay.
No?
No, it's not that. I'm not long dong silver.
Hey, dude.
Okay.
Hello.
Do you get a little dumber, you think? Probably. We all get a little dumber.
think so.
Yeah, everyone gets
I think
dumber
so.
with a boner.
Yeah.
I think so. Those porns where the guys have so much dick, there's like turnpikes on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like hard here, then it's got a flaccidness, and it's got a jug handle. Is this the map of Jersey? What the fuck is going on here, dude? This guy's dick is like winding. No. If I get hard, I'm having this thing now, though. When I get hard, I have to fuck pretty much immediately. Like if a girl just wants to do other shit, I'm like, well, that ship has sailed.
Oh, definitely.
Goodbye, boner, for 3 hours.
It's like I have to rev it back up then,
I have this now where it's like they don't realize, they're like, oh, let's just bite my ear for 5 minutes and then whisper Rupi Kaur poetry into my ear, and I'm like, we're gone.
Well, it's like the signals are all wrong. Then it's like, are we going to do this or not? And if we're not, then it's like, well, I'm going back to sleep then. All right, wake me up when something's actually happening.
Wake me up. That's what it is, dude. Anyway,
Before you come.
stories jumping in.
Let's jump into
Let's do
it.
it.
Let's jump into it. First one, Miss Nepal. Well, first of all, let's do a quick little update. A couple episodes ago, we were talking about this really shitty kind of Bombay wannabe American couple who were being super mad anti-Semitic or whatever on the street. They were doing the poster tearing down thing. And then the guy's like, why are you doing that? And they're like, go back to your country, Jew boy, or whatever.
very much
We're
like
fucking
that.
from here, darling. Fuck you, man.
And the wife was like the sidekick, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell him, Vishant.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it to him.
And the guy told this American Jewish guy, he's like, go back to your country, man, which is a weird thing to say in that accent.
And weird thing to say to a Zionist, too. It's like, that's the whole point, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally the whole point.
And I think he was trying to make that point, but told him to go back to his country and said a bunch of other. This guy got fired from his job.
Yeah.
So
From what?
He worked for
At a synagogue.
He was a rabbi.
As a
Actually.
rabbi.
His name was Mystery, which makes me think he was a Parsi, Bombay Parsi. Makes
Okay.
sense.
Asshole.
He was dismissed, but it was a commodities trading house. This guy's in finance. So I'm like,
Finance
how
boy.
can you work in the most evil industry in the world, which is finance? His previous jobs are at like Lehman Brothers and Barclays or whatever, and then act like you're on some fucking moral high horse against somebody
Also,
else.
every boss you ever had was a Jewish guy, probably. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
maybe that's probably part of it.
So he's angry at Jews because
Yeah.
they told him to get coffee once. He's like, I hate this job.
So this guy got fired from his job, which kudos.
You know?
I think that was a good thing.
Will darling woman stick around?
Yeah, I want them both to be deported only because they're shitty wannabe American Indian people.
I think that's
From India.
I know that vibe too. These energies of this suburban Indian class. You know, they hang out. They go to the Bharatanatyams. They're in the
No, they don't go. That's the problem.
No,
with
they
them.
could. it's like they're like in the suburban culture. Like they have like friends and like they're all like,
This is more urban though, because these people are in New York, so they're not the types who are going to go to like Narangetam or whatever.
So you're saying it's more like
And in fact, they reject all of that.
I could vote for Obama a third time if I could.
Yeah,
kind
they
of energy.
reject
Sure,
the
sure,
Indianness
sure.
stuff, right? Because for them, it's like it's real cringe, bro. Like that's their vibe,
That's the thing. They pride themselves on their daughter not being a doctor.
right?
You know, she's actually a performance artist.
Yeah.
She takes a shit.
Yeah, and she said that the woman said the whitest thing ever. When she was like, "Does he know who my father is?"
Oh,
And
yeah?
like, she said that in the video. She's like, "Do you even know who my dad is?" I was
This
like,
is real?
"Bitch." Yeah, that was real. That happened in the video.
Here's like, if you look at her, she looks like Auntie looks.
Yeah,
Like
It's
she has the glasses.
BPD Pagalanti.
In the
vibes.
Pagalanti, she has like, maybe she teaches,
She did this this move. She
Where did they learn this stuff, dude?
It's like watching like early aughts 2000 American TV and social media.
That's what it
you
is,
know?
dude. There was also like a phase in Bollywood too where they were all becoming that.
Yeah.
Like Dil Chahta Hai was seen as like a very groundbreaking film because
Right.
they wear Swedish clothes in it or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like the Indian uncle auntie love for the early aughts white culture
Yes.
never ends. And they're in that. And I guess now this is the issue that they're like all talking about, right?
Yeah.
Free Palestine, bro.
Free Palestine, bro, or whatever it is, right? But their whole thing is they're just people who just hop on every trend. It's the
Right.
newest thing. Not here to defame pro-Palestinian cause at all.
Obviously.
Right? But we're just defaming these kinds of Indians. I couldn't help but feel somewhat pleased that he got fired because this guy was like definitely a douchebag.
I mean, he was a douchebag, but I mean, does he have kids that needs to feed? You know.
I don't think so. Just the wifey.
Oh, they're like one of those like us.
Yeah.
You don't have kids. Oh, those Indian couples that like want kids. Oh boy, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Another early aughts thing of like, the kids will get in the way of like travel.
Dude.
We
so
want
dumb.
we want to live, laugh, love.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to live, laugh, love. That's what we want to do. She has driftwood in her. She has like the wine puns.
Yeah.
On like stitches.
9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, 100%. This one, the picture of this woman is getting very, very clear.
Yeah, well, actually, I told you I went to her Instagram after I first saw the thing and was all just like, I love two things, weed and Ukraine, darling. It was like, that was her vibe. I was like, you fucking suck so hard. You fucking worst.
She's like a patchwork quilt of all white culture.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's a combination.
Yeah. Exactly.
Listen. Guilty as a 50.
Yeah.
Guilty as a 50.
I'm a Ukraine girly, darling.
A Ukraine girly.
Love.
And I'm a 50.
So, this guy got fired, which is good. She didn't get fired from anything because she just lives off
she has no
family
money.
wealth
Yeah.
or something, But I thought it was a good thing. So just a quick update on that story. Next thing we got to talk about is Miss Nepal.
Oh, God.
Breaking,
Here comes the
dude, this
chub.
woman.
Oh, I've seen her.
Did you see her, Joe?
She's fucking curvy.
Yeah.
She's a curvy lass.
I like her.
I like her too. Her name is Jane Garrett, though, which is not the most Nepali
It looks
name.
like they were trying to shoehorn
Yeah.
3-4 white names. They're like, make sure you get the Deepika in there really quick. But Jane, Ashley. Deepika.
It was what is her full name? It's Jane Deepika Garrett. So she has a fully white name, and she's a thickie.
Yeah.
She's a thickie. So she's doing something for her body. That's never where I would have thought this kind of thing would. I would have thought America is going to put up some big bitch, right?
Right.
But no, it was Nepal, who was like, "Hey,
And
let's submit."
I'm wondering how they found a big bitch in Nepal.
I-
You know what
I'm-
I'm saying? Like, there's food like that there?
So she's a leading figure in the body positivity movement by challenging expectations ingrained in beauty pageants.
I like it. I think she's hot as hell.
She is hot. This is definitely your type.
I'm not a beauty pageant person per se. I think it's all pretty dumb.
Yes.
Until we get some Down syndromies in there, I don't think it has any weight.
Well, I'm just wondering how this is flying in Nepal or India or in quote South Asia, right?
Right.
Of like, are these bigger women like becoming models? I don't know.
Well,
To me, it's kind of leaping. It's taking a leap ahead in like popular discourse.
No, but
it's
it's
going
also
straight
like-
to America. It's not even going through, hey, let's have a skinty hot phase,
but it's like
emaciated hot
I still think
phase.
it's following America because America had the plus size movement.
Yes, that's what I'm
And
saying.
that's what I'm saying. They're just following America's
That's what I'm
ideal.
saying, but if
and maybe
you-
even better. Maybe
Yeah.
they're like America was kind of like fake plus size positivity.
Right.
And maybe Nepal didn't catch that. They're like, whoa, okay, y'all are doing plus size?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And America's like, that thing in the popular party where it's like cool to say you want to jump in the pool, but then the person actually does it, they're like, what the fuck?
Right.
It could be that where Nepal is just taking what they think America's trying to do and
It's an
actually
interesting
do
thing.
it.
Social media now, before, we discussed this before, how in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, whatever, Nepal, all the cultural stuff is always like 10 to 15 years behind America, right?
Yeah.
Which still does hold true somewhat in some ways. But now I think with social media, they've leapfrogged it now. Where now she's like, no, we're into body positivity. We got to be fat, or we have to be big.
It's the same thing that allows Indians to say cringe, bro.
Yes.
It's the same thing. This concept, they're catching up.
Yeah.
Before growing up, right, the Indian fob was a New Balance jeans wearing, like, just the least amount of fashion humanly possible.
Right.
Because they had no conduits to American media.
Yes.
Or their own. Again, then they wore brown clothes. They're like, okay, you're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
So they didn't know how to dress American. Now, these women from Delhi are like wearing fucking American clothes.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Not that it's like a good thing or bad thing. I'm just saying like they're not doing the double vest then shitty jeans New Balance combo now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the fucking really, really bad fob fashion back in the day.
Sure, of course.
I used to hate UTD like that.
Well, it's fine, right? It's like it's kind of okay because whatever, they're just living who they are. Joe, what do you have to say about
Is it fair to call the body positivity movement a movement, since that's the last thing you do?
Oh God, Joe, I knew that was
When
waiting
you're
for
fat.
that one to happen.
Got him. It's positivity, all right. Like the scale, it's a very big
Positive as in plus
positive
size.
number. Yeah.
He tested positive for type 2
Oh,
diabetes.
God, Joe.
Come on, man.
How'd she walk the stage with no feet?
Now, this woman is undeniably hot, though.
No,
okay?
she's very hot. And you know what, dude? Maybe I'm the only one out of the three that's like really into it. I'm into it. I give back.
I'm more and more just curious about it as a cultural phenom, and I never expected this to come out of Nepal. I expect this to come out of, okay, this is going to be like an American thing, right?
I think it's just like they're getting good at like being American.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're getting quick. They're saying cringe, bro. The TikTok has gotten everybody on the same page.
Right.
Everybody knows what the fuck.
I just wonder, like, who is it that submits these people from different countries? Is there like a bureau of hotties in every country that determines how a woman gets entered into a Miss Universe pageant?
They just ask people who are the sluts. It's
Yeah.
like, who's slutty out here? And can also twirl dishes on a stick.
Well, I think the person who won was from like Nicaragua or something, who was like obviously a 11 out of 10.
Sure. I mean, dude, these people are all gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing, is that that's why I don't like these pageants. If you're gonna make beauty pageants, it's like always, no matter what the body size is, they're always
You know what I get? My
symmetrical
guess
as fuck.
is that she was actually really rich. Her family's really rich in Nepal. And thus she was able to control who goes into this kind of pageant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Could be.
right.
I could
She
be
was, she was American born. Okay,
Right,
beauty
Jane.
pageant, body positivity advocate. She's the first plus size contestant. Life and career. She's from Kathmandu. She also has American citizenship. She's a nurse,
Who's
business
not from
developer.
Kathmandu?
I mean,
You know? Which Miss Nepal is from a goat village?
I mean,
Where's that hoe? I'm from Goat Fuckersville, whatever.
okay, so her being actually American does make sense. I am
Right.
curious about her background. She was probably really rich in Nepal or something like that.
I mean, I think everybody who does these competitions has money.
From other like
You know what I'm
like developing nations.
Yeah.
I think definitely.
Yeah, I don't think this is
Because you need the nutrition to be able to look a certain way.
or you need like the IV drips too to like not die when you're at the
Right.
very edge of death. Whatever it is, it's hard to look like this, right?
Yeah.
It takes money, it takes planning, blah blah blah. So I think it's a rich people's game. This all the pageant stuff. I don't know anybody from like a backwater village that wins these things.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with that.
You know?
I agree with that.
I still think it annoys me that no matter how, like the plus size thing is like, look at this other hot chick that's huge.
Yeah.
As opposed to, then again, here's the thing: the beauty industry tried this thing last couple of years, where they tried to like, oh, here's someone with a nose on her forehead.
Right.
She's look at her, buy makeup now, and the beauty industry reported like decreases of sales.
Of sales, yeah.
Like beyond anything they've ever seen before. And they went back to hot. Like the Victoria's Secret models now are like back to
being just dying.
Legit, like almost dead people.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing to me because on the one hand, I do understand, like, I mean, look, we all like having sex with various kinds of people, right?
Sure.
In terms of like what is attractive.
Boom.
Right? Like I've definitely, hooked up with plus size people before, plus size women before, So, I mean, there is something there. So what is the idea? People are like, it's white supremacy. I don't think that's exactly it either. I think cultures in general have ideas of you want somebody who's slim but has big hips and that kind of thing.
Sure,
right?
sure. Cultures have different concepts. Who knows what the concoction is?
Right.
Like what it exactly is. In Mauritius, they literally rich people have to go to, if you're a wife to be, you have to go to like the desert in a tent and they feed you.
No, not Mauritius. That's in like West Africa, I think.
I think some African countries do it. So maybe not Mauritius, maybe Mauritania.
Maybe.
Tunisia, I think, does this, where they just fatten a woman up.
No, they go to like a fattening hut.
Like a desert tent.
Yeah. Which makes it very curious. Well, what is the fucking actual standard for winning a Miss Universe pageant? Like, what is the beauty standard anyone's trying to conform to? What is the purpose of this thing, actually? Mr. Universe is about bodybuilding, right? So you can look and objectively be like, okay, this guy's got well-proportioned X, Y, and Z. It's purely about physicality. And
I've heard actually there's a lot of charm involved as well. It's like, it's charm battle too, like human judges. So you got to like, they're all gay judges too, so you gotta be like, who, like, you gotta look fuckable,
Right.
The concept is, I don't know. I don't love the idea of just beauty being like a war. I don't know. It's
beauty pageants are dumb and outdated. We have to just be clear about that, right?
Yeah,
it is like a very dumb
thing.
Yeah, and I'm not a woke person at all, so it is just like a fully stupid concept of just like, let's parade around the best bathing suit competition time.
And then they're like, what's your talent? They're like, I can tap dance backwards while reciting. Like, what is
it has the feeling of like a slave auction. Let's see your teeth now. Like, what skills do you have? And it's like, what? Like, what are you doing? No.
It is that. It has no concept of like, and now run around.
Yeah.
Let's run around in a circle.
Exactly.
There's that one.
Somebody has you on like it's the Westminster Dog Show.
You're like, run around now.
A dressage competition. It's so dumb.
But everyone loves it. Everyone like tunes in. Like, ooh,
yeah.
Who's the best slave today? I guess maybe back in those times it was like that too. Like, I guess we have this as a human urge to judge people. We have this concept of like, I want to go to the guillotine and see someone get sliced.
Right.
I want to see someone be judged on something. Like, I guess we have this concept of like, where do I stand in this world?
Right.
And that maybe is our love for competitions. Like, we want to see people losing and winning and remind ourselves that like there is a hierarchy.
This is even like yes, that's what it is. It's like now it's like what the hierarchy is based on is not clear anymore.
Right.
Right.
You're like, one fat girl. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
hell in a handbasket.
That's what I'm saying though. So like, what is the metric, and then what is the purpose of this thing? You know what I mean? Like, why are we even doing?
You're like,
pageants?
what's next? Dark skinned?
Yeah. I mean,
what is next?
It's like, why are we doing fucking pageants though? It's a dumb thing.
I mean, it's been a dumb thing. I like the idea that they're getting different types of people, right? I want to keep that thing going. I want toothless hoe. I want droopy eyelid. I want someone with like 4 holes or something. I don't know. I want it to be like a fucking carnival. I want talk to the bearded lady. I want it to be like so weird that it becomes the beauty idea comes like get radical with the acceptance. So now it's like bearded lady or fucking
right.
And just really blow it up from the inside. And I guess people tried that, and then everyone stopped buying makeup because.
Well, actually, I guess it is. The concept is beauty is the standard, and then now what determines beauty is now changed.
Right.
Right. Which
and it's coming from a guy. I might be the most accepting guy in the world.
Sexually.
Yeah.
And
that's a true.
That's you are the
idea
wokest person in that
acceptance.
way. Yeah.
I am the show me your boobies guy. I'm that guy. I do think that old Indian men they're conservative, but then they're so horny that they're left wing again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, show me your boobies.
Show me your boobies.
Transgender.
Hey,
Show me your boobies.
I'm
That
a
guy's
demi
legend.
boy. Well, can I fuck the other half?
That guy is a legend.
You know,
You thought you speculated he was Bengali.
he's very Bengali. His accent.
Yeah. Show
You
me
know?
your boobies.
I'm intersex, but I'm interested.
Yo, where we at with time?
Okay, we got one more story coming up.
Yeah, hit us. Come on over to the Patreon, guys.
Your mango bed.